The Ocean of Knowledge. When Bahá'u'lláh was 21 years old, his father passed away, and the government wanted him to take up his father's position in the ministry, as was customary in Iran. But Bahá'u'lláh did not accept the offer. The Prime Minister then said, "Leave him to himself. Such a position is unworthy of him. He has some higher aim in view. I cannot understand him, but I am convinced that he is destined for some lofty career. His thoughts are not like ours. Leave him alone." Once when Bahá'u'lláh was quite young, he traveled to Nur, a district of Mazandaran, where his relatives lived. There is a village in Nur by the name of Taku, and Bahá'u'llah's father owned vast property there. It was here that the family spent most of their summers. In those days, there was a religious teacher named Muhammad Taqi. He was very famous for his knowledge of religion, and his students were proud of having him as their teacher. One day, in his class of about 200 students, Muhammad Taqi read an Islamic tradition and asked his students to interpret it. None of them could answer correctly. Bahá'u'lláh, who was also present, asked permission to explain the tradition and did so in very simple and sweet words. Everyone was astonished. Muhammad Taqi was very upset at the weakness of his own students. When Bahá'u'lláh left, the teacher told his students that he was ashamed that after all these years of study, not one of them was capable of answering. And the youth, Bahá'u'lláh, who had never attended any school, gave the meaning so simply and beautifully. Of course, Muhammad Taqi was not aware of the fact that Bahá'u'lláh was not an ordinary person, and therefore his knowledge and understanding were not ordinary either. He had innate divine knowledge. One day, Muhammad Taqi told his students about two strange dreams that he had concerning Bahá'u'lláh. He related, "Once I was standing with a number of people when suddenly I saw everyone pointing towards a house and saying that the promised one was there. I went to the house immediately, but the guards prevented me from entering and said that the promised one was conversing with someone. From the signs they made, I realized that the person the promised one was talking to was Mirza Hussain Ali." Bahá'u'lláh. In another dream, he continued, "I saw several boxes which the people told me belonged to Bahá'u'lláh. I opened one of them. It was full of books. I then opened one of the books. To my surprise, I noticed that all the words were made up of jewels. The brightness and luminosity of those words was so intense that I woke up from my dream."